slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
I said it really ain't no crash, yeah. It's whatever, yeah. Shawty wanna leave me, new bitch deadlier. Pockets heavier. Tryna reach that top when I own my spot and I'm finna break barriers, break barriers, break barriers. Ain't too many play fair with us. I don't wanna hear what they telling us. Fuck niggas hating they jelly us, they jelly us, they jelly us. Need new friends, no enemies. Nobody stealing my energy. I ain't really giving out sympathy, no sympathy. I said I've been there, right in front of them, right in front of them, right in. I said I need that, I need all of them, I need all of them, I said I've been there, right in front of them, right in front of them, right in. I said I need that, I need all of them, I need all of them, I need all of them. I said I've been it, trying to perfect my image, and I make this look easy. Really don't got no limits, really don't got no boundaries. High school days they clowning me, 10 years plus they crowning me. I like how that sounded me. I've been the one that's gonna run it up. Always been different since coming up. You wanna win, you should come with us. Ain't no mistake, I'ma double up, double up, double up, double up, double up. Been through the rain, hiding the pain, ducking the shame, walk through the flame. I never blame, part of the game. I said I've been there, right in front of them, right in front of them, right in. I said I need that, I need all of them, I need all of them, I said I've been there, right in front of them, right in front of them, right in. I said I need that, I need all of them, I need all of them, I need all of them. Been in this shit for a little manito. I learned the game in the cheat code. You tell them your trauma, they give you $1 and fill up your pockets and speak low. Why they doubt me crazy? I don't know. When every song is amazing, I don't know, but still like tuck low. But I still show up though, tryna fill my cup though. What's up, ho? Matter of fact, what's up, folk? Gotta watch my back cause these niggas be cutthroat. No, I don't go tiptoe. It's 10 toes down to the city, I'm big, bro.
All right. As always, I ain't got no money. Don't come for me. Go to the news outlets, okay? So you wanted somebody, you can go to them, all right? Otherwise, this is for educational and entertainment purposes, I believe. With that, let's begin. Where's my opener?
Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10.
Sup, how you doing? It's me, Kisu. Let me go ahead and say hello for you first.
Hello. It's me.
So, anyways, as always, we gonna sit up here and look at the news. I'm gonna get y'all out of here as soon as I can. But first, let's go check out an oldie but a goodie, because I ain't seen this heifer in a minute. Where the hell is my button? Okay, here you go. So Maya says living below her means has helped her stay financially healthy throughout her career. And this woman, I ain't seen her do something new in a minute, but that girl is still looking good. Damn it, I need to know how the hell she do it. So let's talk about it. Chair gang, let's start with a story that is probably going to upset every fake financial guru on Instagram. Maya recently revealed the secret that's helped her stay financially healthy throughout a career that's lasted more than 20 years. Ready for the groundbreaker? She lives below her means. I know somewhere a guy is selling like a $5,000 wealth mindset course, just fell to his knees in a Starbucks. During a recent interview on the Joe and Jada podcast, Maya talked about the advice that's guided her career from the beginning. She credited her parents, especially her mother, who she says often acts as the voice of reason before she makes major decisions. Like I said, you got to have somebody proper in your corner who got your back, because otherwise that's your ass. Now, that's a blessing. Everybody needs somebody in their life whose job is to ask, do you actually need that, before you spend money like you just signed a max contract with the Lakers? I know my mama is, because I almost bought me a generator. She also spoke about her father, describing him as someone who appreciates nice things but doesn't allow those things to control his life. According to Maya, he's independent, confident, and somehow still looking younger than people half his age. Apparently, peace of mind might be the best skincare routine on the market. I'm trying to get there. What's interesting is that her comments come at a time when more entertainers are talking about wealth preservation instead of just wealth creation. Because I'm telling you, some of these folks, they get it and then they lose it. And I'm like, how? How did you have all of that and lose it all? How does that work? I don't think that's supposed to happen like that. But anyways, let's see here now. For years, celebrity culture was all about showing people what you bought. Now now more people are discussing what they own, what they invest in, and what they're passing down. That's what I'm talking about. And honestly, that's the conversation worth having, because there are plenty of people who look rich for the internet. There are far fewer people who are financially secure when the cameras turn off. Maya's lesson may not be exciting, but after decades in a business known for chewing people up financially, it sounds like she might know what she's talking about. Hell, I'm telling you right now, boring is lovely. I'm just going to tell you real quick. Boring is a great thing. But now we're about to get into some bullshit. This is the regular news segment. So, yeah, I'm about to catch you up on stuff you didn't catch this week. If you didn't know, well, you're going to hear it again, because it's some bullshit. But before I do that, if you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, and you have a recommendation, hit me up in my comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, because I need to get this thing bigger. And every time I hit 100, I am going to cam up until I get to 1,000. And if I get 1,000, then I'm just going to stay cammed up. Okay, how about that? But anyways, let's go on and see my commercial. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe. Here we go. I'll be right back with the next story.
It's just me and the fam. 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 Yeah. It's just me and the fam.
See my little taste, say that's my girl, that's my mascot. Little ones go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
All right, y'all already know this is an update. So, Karmelo Anthony trial, prosecution dismisses all black jurors. What the fuck? Now, is it me or does this feel like a setup? Because I feel like it's a setup. This poor man is about to get railroaded. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. I hate this fucking country. I really do sometimes. One of the biggest criminal trials in the country is underway, but before witnesses could take center stage, a completely different controversy grabbed the spotlight. The trial of 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony officially began this week in Texas. I can't stand Texas. Anthony is charged in the fatal, where's my sound effect? Because y'all know what it is, but I don't want to get in trouble. These motherfuckers be getting me for hashtags at this point. Yeah, that's what happened to him. And of a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a track meeting in 2025. Anthony has pled not guilty and is expected to argue that he acted in self-defense. They're going to railroad him. Even if he's telling the truth, they're going to railroad his ass. Poor baby. But right now, the evidence isn't what everyone is talking about. Conversation is focused on the jury. The jury pool started with nearly 600 potential jurors. After the selection process was complete, the final jury and alternate panel contained no black jurors. Defense attorneys objected after prosecutors used their final strikes against the remaining qualified black jurors. Prosecutors argued that the decisions were not based on race, but on occupation, pointing to the fact that those jurors worked in education. The judge agreed and allowed the strike to stand. The decision immediately lit up social media. Civil rights advocates and many observers have raised concerns about the optics of a black defendant facing a trial jury before a jury with no black representation. Prosecutors, meanwhile, continue to insist that race played no role in the process and that the case should be judged strictly on the facts. Go look for some more, god dang it, you dirty bastard. This is a railroad thing right here. Now, here's where things get complicated. The legal question and the public perception question aren't always the same. A court can determine that a process followed the law while members of public still feel uneasy about the outcome. That's exactly where this case finds itself. As testimony continues, the jury will ultimately decide whether Anthony acted in self-defense or committed an unaliving. But outside the court, the debate over who gets to make that decision is showing no signs of slowing down. And for many people watching this case, the jury selection process has become almost significant as a trial in itself. Oh, Lord, I think I got to pray for this boy. Oh, please don't. Oh, Lord. But with that going on, we also have an update on the Ashley Janae situation. I don't know what to say on it, but here we go. Give me a second to set it up because, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a weird ass week. That's all I can say about this shit. It's a weird ass week. Here we go. Did I pop it up? I hope I popped it. Nope, there it is. All right, so big new development in influencer Ashley Janae's suspicious death. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Nearly 2 months after the sudden death of influencer Ashley Janae, authorities in Tanzania say they have reached an official conclusion. Is my thing up here? Okay, good. I just wanted to check. Ashley Janae, whose legal name was Ashley Robinson, died on April 9th while vacationing in Zanzibar with her fiance, Joe McCann. Her death quickly became the subject of a widespread discussion online, with countless theories appearing across social media. This week, investigators announced that Ashley Robinson died by self-deletion following what they described as mental distress. The announcement closes the official investigation, but it likely won't end all discussion surrounding the case. Because if there's one thing the internet loves, it's turning into a detective agency the moment a mystery appears. Within days of the tragedy, social media users were analyzing photos, reviewing timelines, and creating theories faster than investigators investigators could gather evidence. Everybody suddenly became a criminal profiler despite having exactly zero access to the actual investigation. And how do people be getting that stuff? Meanwhile, Robinson's family was left dealing with grief while also navigating the public attention around surrounding her death. Cases like this often reveal one of social media's biggest contradictions. People spend years watching someone's content and begin to feel like they know them personally. But the reality is that viewers only see pieces of a person's life. That's called parasocial. The smiling photos, the vacation pictures, the achievements, the celebrations. What they don't always see are the struggles, fears, pressures, or emotional battles taking place away from the camera. Regardless of how people react to the findings, the story remains a tragic reminder that someone's public image doesn't always tell the full story of what they're experiencing privately. May she rest in peace. I will pray for her because if self deletion, in what I believe at least. I'm just saying. This next story though, I don't know what to say. Thank God, I guess. Dash cam captures black woman in handcuffs fleeing kidnapper. Wow. So this next story sounds less like real life and more like the opening scene of a true crime documentary. Authorities in South Carolina have arrested a man after dash cam footage allegedly captured a young woman running for her life while handcuffed behind her back. What the hell was you doing? What the hell was he doing? According to investigators, the woman was walking when a man identified as Willard, allegedly approached her in a green Cadillac and claimed he was a police officer. I had someone do that to me, but it was a dude that graduated like a year or two before me. Tried to act like he was somebody else, like I don't know your name. Do not play sports and be in a small ass town and think people don't know you. Authorities say she was then kidnapped. At some point, however, the woman managed to break away and run. That's when truck driver Anthony Moore entered the story. Moore was driving along Williston Road, these names, when he spotted something that immediately seemed wrong. A woman suddenly appeared running into traffic with her hands still cuffed behind her back. According to Moore, the suspect allegedly attempted to pursue her with the vehicle as she ran from one side of the road to the other, trying to escape. That's what I did when I was walking away from the club and this dude wouldn't leave me the fuck alone in his car. Just imagine witnessing that while driving to work. You're thinking about gas prices, your lunch break, and whether you remember to lock your front door. Then suddenly you're looking at what appears to be an attack crime unfolding right in front of you. Thankfully, witnesses paid attention. Thank God, thank God. You never know. The woman survived the ordeal. Authorities responding, the suspect was taken into custody. Stories like this are terrifying because they remind people how quickly an ordinary day can become something else entirely. But they also highlight the importance of people paying attention to what's happening around them. In this case, witnesses and evidence help bring a dangerous situation to an end. I wonder if she knows him. And if not, what the hell is wrong with that dude? Because that's really fucking creepy and scary as hell all at the same damn time. Seriously, I don't know what the hell is wrong with these folks. But anyways, we're going to move on into some international shit because unfortunately, wait, before I do that, let me go ahead and promote this because it's getting closer. If you're in the DC area, or if you have the time and the money to go to the DC area and you want to get involved with the cause, check out 7 Days in DC. That's going to be happening from June 28th to July 4th, 2026. And this thing is blinking when I'm blinking. I'm just letting you know. Please, if you're interested in it, go check out Political Drain on YouTube to get all the rest of the information. But once again, if you have the money, the time, or if you're in the area, please check out 7 Days in DC, June 28th to July 4th, 2026. And that will be, you can go to Political Drain on YouTube to get all the rest of the information to get involved. Please check that out. Now, let's go ahead and check this next story out because it's international, and I sometimes like to do something like that. Sometimes I'm just too damn nosy for my own business. Where the hell are my transitions? Okay, there we go. Here we go.
What's going on over there?
So Jamaica left searching for answers after all-island blackout grips country. So Jamaica spent Friday night dealing with something nobody enjoys, a nationwide power outage. See, that's why I want a goddamn generator. An island-wide blackout left millions of residents without electricity and immediately sparked confusion, frustration, and a flood of social media updates as people tried to figure out what was happening. Keep your phone charged, I'm just saying. Now, let's be honest, modern society can survive about 12 minutes without electricity before everybody starts acting like civilization has collapsed. For me, I can last about maybe a day or two because then I'm going to get bored. So, anyways, no Wi Fi, no charging phones, no streaming, no scrolling. Suddenly, people remember they have family members sitting in the same room. According to the Jamaica Public Service Company, restoration efforts may move quickly and power was restored to more than 500,000 customers. Energy Minister Daryl Vaz called the why is his name Vaz? It sounds like something that has to do with electricity. Called the outage unacceptable and said he closely monitored the situation throughout the night while crews worked to restore service. Officials also reported that a fire connected to the incident was successfully extinguished. How the hell do you start a fire when there's no Okay, anyways, I'm not going to ask. And that no injuries were reported. That's the good news. The bigger question now is what caused an outage large enough to affect an entire country? For many residents, getting the lights back on was the first step. The next step is understanding how something is this significant happened and what can be done to prevent it from happening again. Because while everyone appreciates having their electricity restored, nobody wants a sequel to this story next weekend. Because seriously, I think the Cubans are already going through that. Give me a second. I need to move some stuff around because I can't see for shit. I like being in the dark, but this is too damn dark. Now, give me just a moment so I can get this straightened out because I restarted my computer and I wanted the shit to work right. And now it just feels like it's dark as hell. Don't know why. And like the volume went down, and I don't know why for that either. But okay, I think I got everything. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next story. Give me a second so I can set it up. Matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna do that. Not right now. I had a whole argument with this damn computer a while back. So yeah, because I am so very, 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 very tired of doing these stories and being here for 3 hours when I can actually finish it real quick. All right, but anyways, we're going to move on into something a little historical, a little more militant. So, yeah, come with me, won't you? I'm just saying. Where's my damn thing? Okay, here we go. You shouldn't have been talking shit. So when black communities lose their vote, schools pay the price. It's a damn domino effect, if you ask me. So, Chair Gang, a lot of people hear the phrase voting rights case and immediately think elections, campaign ads, and political arguing on TV. But according to the education advocates, some of the biggest consequences show up somewhere completely different. Your child's classroom. A growing debate has emerged following the Supreme Court's decision in Louisiana versus, I don't know how to say this man's name, Kayaz. I really don't care because he's the asshole that started this shit. While the case focuses on voting rights and representation, education leaders are warning that the effects could extend far beyond politics. Seriously, because this is ridiculous. Denise Forte, president and CEO of Ed Trust, argues that reducing political representation ultimately affects Black communities' ability to influence decisions about schools. Give me a second here. Okay, because I'm hot and I'm trying to keep the air out here. But anyways, let me see here now. Let's see here now. Okay, ability to. And when you think about it, that connection isn't hard to understand. Who decides how much money schools receive? Elected officials. Who decides education policies? Elected officials. Who influences curriculum standards, teacher resources, accountability measures, and access to opportunities? Again, elected officials. I think some elected officials ain't doing the damn job. That's why advocates say voting power and educational equity are tied together. Now, some folks are hearing school funding and immediately start preparing for a nap. Wake the fuck up. Because school funding often determines whether students have updated textbooks, advanced courses, technology programs, art programs, and even enough staff to support students properly. Look, I went to a damn magnet school, and the last time I checked, they turned that shit into a trade school, okay? Literally, they got people learning how to become hairstylists and mechanics. The fuck? The concern from voting rights advocates is that if Black communities lose political influence, what they're trying to do, they may also lose leverage when fighting for educational resources. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to start homeschooling. I ain't got a problem teaching folks. Supporters of the court's decision view the case differently and argue that election districts should be drawn according to legal and constitutional standards rather than race-based considerations. But regardless of where people stand politically, one thing is clear. This conversation is bigger than ballots. It's about who gets a voice when decisions are made about the next generation. And that's why education advocates are paying very close attention. I'm telling y'all, when you let one block fall, the next one's going to fall, and it's just going to keep a domino effect. I like domino, but not like this shit. Moving on. Now, this one, I don't know how to feel. I'm really glad there's a Good Trouble gala, but yeah, what they're warning is very scary. So at the Good Trouble gala, leaders warn of Jim Crow regression. What the hell is wrong with this dude right here? He looks like he just burped and he's trying to get his composure back. Real talk, he looks like he's one of my uncles. Anyways, for years, people have complained that mainstream media doesn't always tell Black stories accurately. Now, some Black creators have decided to stop complaining about it and start building something themselves. Activist Latasha Brown recently reflected on the success of Love, Joy, and Power, a film directed by Daresha Key, I hope I said it right, that tells the story of the work done by Black Voter Matters during the 2020 election cycle. According to Brown, nearly 100,000 people watched the film during its first 48 hours, and the audience continues to grow. But what caught her attention wasn't just the viewership numbers, it was the experience. So she compared it to the early days of Black Twitter when people gathered online, watched content together, and turned the comment section into its own form of entertainment. Sometimes the comments were funnier than the actual content. Now, before Felon Muskrat's lawyers send me a letter, we're talking about the old days, the good days, the days when folks could turn a simple post into a comedy special within 10 minutes. Brown argues that a new Black media ecosystem is this the right damn story? I don't think this is the right story. Let me see. Because this is not the story. I think the story is missing. God dang it. Give me a second here. Every time. Give me just a moment so I can type this shit. I knew I was reading something wrong. I'm telling you, because some of the things I'm doing, I'm trying to summarize these stories, and they're telling me they can't. I see there's a racist thing going on there. Every story that I want. Get on my nerves. Jackass, that thing, AIs and shit. I know my stories. I just don't have the time to summarize it. So let's try this again, okay? Revamp. Let's pretend we didn't hear all that other shit because it's gonna come up when we get needed. So let's talk about some good trouble. Not the kind that gets you banned from Thanksgiving dinner, the kind that changes history. The 2026 Good Trouble Gala was held this week in Washington, D.C., as leaders, activists, elected officials, and community activists gathered to honor the legacy of civil rights icon John Lewis and his wife, Lillian Miles Lewis. I knew I was reading the wrong thing. The event was organized by the John and Lillian Miles Lewis Foundation and focused on carrying forward Lewis's lifelong commitment to voting rights, civic engagement, and community empowerment. Now, if you ever heard John Lewis talk, you know Good Trouble wasn't about causing chaos. It was about challenging injustice. It was about refusing to sit quietly when something wasn't right. As America approaches its 250th anniversary, I'm not celebrating it. Organizers said the gala was designed to celebrate progress while also recognizing the work that remains ahead. One of the evening's top honors, the John Lewis Carry On Award, went to James E. Clyburn for his decades of public service, civil rights advocacy, and efforts to direct resources towards communities facing persistent poverty. Maryland First Lady Dawn Moore received the Lillian Miles Lewis Luminary Award for her work in economic empowerment and support for military families and veterans. The foundation also paid tribute to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and longtime Congressman Steny Hoyer for their years of public service. Attendees also heard remarks from Senator John Ossoff and Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. He needs a backbone. But what stood out to me is that this wasn't just another fancy gala where people eat expensive chicken. Why it gotta be chicken, fucker? And take pictures. The money raised supports civic engagement, program scholarships, neighborhood grants, and leadership initiatives designed to help develop future generations of community leaders. Because John Lewis understood something important. Movements don't survive because of one person. They survive because somebody teaches the next generation how to carry the torch. And that's exactly what this event says it's trying to do. Seriously, I'm so sick of this shit because let me bring that down. God dang it. I can't see my buttons. I'm going to bring that down again, because that's annoying. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I just really need to talk about this shit right here. I'm sick of it too. Because do you realize that some of these adults do not know how to read? I just found that shit out, and I'm actually appalled and terrified. Some folks cannot read. I'm doing this on a regular basis on reading, and I don't understand how that's possible. How do you not know how to read is what I'm trying to say. I don't get it. But yeah, you already heard half of this, but I'm gonna re-say it again because this is the right story. I don't know what else to tell you, but we need to start teaching our kids at home as well. It's not just the teacher's job to teach your children. Some of that education comes from home. I'm just saying. It's true, and you can quote me on it if you want to. You can fight me on it if you want to, but it's god dang true. My mama was a teacher. I was lucky. Anyways, here we go, since I fucking turned that one on. Oh, Lord Jesus. This is annoying. Fuck it. I'm so tired of this. All my shit is going crazy. Anyways, where the truth lies for Black America media when the mainstream stays silent. Where's that other damn thing? I'm looking for my other transition because I wasn't trying to turn that shit on. Oh, there it is. Anyways, so for decades, Black creators have been told they needed access to somebody else's platform in order to reach a larger audience. Increasingly, they're responding with a simple answer: nah, we'll build our own. Activist Latasha Brown recently discussed the growing influence of independent Black media while reflecting on the success of the documentary Love, Joy, and Power, directed by Darisha Key. I hope I said that right. The film tells the story of Black Voter Matters work during the 2020 election cycle and quickly attracted a large audience. According to Brown, nearly 100,000 people watched within the first 48 hours. But what stood out wasn't just the number of viewers, it was the experience. Brown described it as feeling like the best days of Black Twitter. You heard this before, but I'm going to read it again. When people weren't just watching content, they were experiencing it together. I already told you the little joke with Elon Muskrat. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But let's see here now. I'm going to keep going. The goal isn't simply visibility. It's ownership of the audience, ownership of the message, ownership of the narrative. Because history has shown that when somebody else controls the microphone, they often control which part of the story gets told. More Black creators are deciding they'd rather hold the microphone themselves. And I'm not sure if that counts for me too, because I'm a VTuber, but I am a Black VTuber. I mean, I ain't no damn way I'm going to pass the goddamn paper bag test. That's for damn sure. Ain't no damn way. Because shit, I like to stand in the sun too. But anyways, with that, we're gonna go ahead and move to the next story, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I really don't. Everything's just going cuckoo. Um, Give me a second. Let me do this one then. Because where's the button? There it is. Ah, God dang it. So Warnock forces vote on transparency for Medicaid coverage loss. So yeah, I'm keeping my foot on this shit too. Healthcare became a major flashpoint in Washington this week after Senator Raphael Warnock pushed for more transparency regarding Medicaid coverage losses. Warnock introduced an amendment that would have required the federal government to publicly release data showing exactly how many Americans have lost Medicaid coverage. His argument was simple. If lawmakers believe policy changes are helping people, then the public should be able to see the numbers and evaluate the results for themselves. The amendment failed in a 52 to 46 vote, with Republicans voting against it. Of course they would. Where's my damn sound effects? God dang it. They get on my motherfucking nerves every time. Oh, Jesus Christ. They get on my damn nerves. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Ah, shit, it's still not working. Fine then. Oh, wow. None of them are fucking working. That's not working. You know what? I don't care. Either way. Okay, I give up. I don't know what's going on there. All right, anyways. The debate comes as reports show a significant decline in Medicaid enrollment, according to figures cited by Warnock. Roughly 1.75 million fewer children were enrolled in Medicaid this year compared to last year. Health policy organizations have also warned that millions more Americans could potentially lose coverage as new work reporting requirements and eligibility rules continue rolling out. Supporters of those requirements argue they're designed to improve accountability and ensure benefits are going to people who qualify. Critics aren't convinced. What the fuck do you do when you're trying to find a job and nobody's hiring you, dumbasses? They argue that paperwork requirements often create barriers that have nothing to do with eligibility. And let's be real for a second. Government paperwork has defeated some of the smartest people in America. There are forms that look like they were designed by somebody who hated happiness. Health advocates worry that the people dealing with illnesses, disabilities, transportation challenges, or language barriers could lose coverage simply because they struggle to navigate the process. Warnock says the issue goes beyond politics and focuses on understanding how policy decisions affect real people. One thing everyone agrees on is this: that Medicaid debate is far from finished. I mean, because y'all lost your damn minds. You really don't give a shit. And now it's time for our favorite moment when people start. It's not my favorite goddamn moment, but still, it's a moment. It's a horrible moment, but it's a moment. And I can't deny it that much. Why did I hit that? I'm always hitting something stupid. Let me move this out of the way so I can get ready. All right, here we go. It's time for. Wait a minute. That's the wrong damn story. Damn it, I hate when they do this shit. Okay, yeah. They got the wrong damn story. Give me a second. It's still the same thing. I swear. God dang it. I love when they just fuck me over. I really do. It's funny. Organized plots. All right, here we go. Because this is something y'all need to know. I didn't know there were so many, and it's ridiculous. But either way it goes, it is still. Here we go. Let's see here now. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Damn it. I really don't want to deal with this, but yeah. Hold on, that's the wrong one. I'm trying to get the right one up here. Give me a second. Here you go. So basically, these are 13 plots that against Black Americans that are working as planned. So I'm just trying to clue y'all up because this shit is terrifying. So one thing history doesn't always teach very well is that when Black communities made progress, there were often organized efforts to stop that progress. We're not talking about random acts of prejudice. We're talking about coordinated campaigns involving laws, violence, propaganda, economic sabotage, and political power. One of the most infamous examples happened in Wilmington, North Carolina in 1898. A multicultural elected government was overthrown by white supremacists in what historians consider the only successful coup d'etat in United States history. Of course, Black elected officials were removed from office, Black businesses were attacked, and dozens of Black residents were unalive. Throughout the Jim Crow era, voter suppression became another organized strategy. Poll taxes, literacy tests, intimidation, and violence were used to reduce Black political participation across the South for generations. And economic success was also targeted. Thriving Black communities, such as Tulsa's Greenwood District, often called Black Wall Street, faced organized racial violence that destroyed businesses, homes, and generational wealth. The federal government wasn't always innocent either. Documents later revealed that FBI's COINTELPRO program specifically targeted Black activist organizations and leaders. Internal memos discussed efforts to disrupt, discredit, and prevent Black political movements from gaining influence. Even in modern time, concerns continue about the efforts to weaken Black political influence through redistricting battles, voter suppression claims, and disinformation campaigns. Federal investigations into Russia election interference found attempts to suppress African American voter participation during the 2016 election cycle. I'll be damned. I found my damn voting area because they moved that bitch and didn't tell nobody. I found it. Now, why does any of this matter? Because history isn't just about remembering what happened. It's about recognizing the patterns. It's always about the patterns. I keep telling y'all, understanding how power operates, understanding how communities respond, and understanding why so many civil rights leaders spent their lives fighting not just individual prejudice, but organized systems that affected education, voting economics, and opportunity. The good news, every one of those efforts also produced resistance. People organized, people voted, people built businesses, people fought court battles, and people kept pushing forward. Because if history teaches us anything, it's that Black progress has never happened by accident. It happened because people refused to quit. And that is for real, because I'm sick of y'all always attacking us. What the fuck did we do? We didn't do shit to y'all, and y'all still fucking with us. God dang it. Can we get a break? Can we get a break? Now, I saw this story originally on Tabitha Speaks Politics, but I got into it too because it was a story in the news. So this really disturbing looking woman is not Black. She's not mixed. She's very much white, and she's very much trying to take over a whole district that was safe for Black representation. So let's talk about it. Wasserman Schultz, don't care if I said it right, district move has Black Democrats sounding the alarm. That means y'all need to get out there. I can't stand Florida, but y'all need to do something, Florida. Florida Democrats are finding themselves in an uncomfortable family argument, and everybody can hear it. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is facing criticism from members of her own party after announcing plans to run in Florida's 20th congressional district. The issue isn't geography, bit my damn tongue. The district has been represented by Black Democrats for nearly 35 years and was specifically drawn to preserve Black political representation. That history is why the move has sparked such strong reactions. 10 of Florida's 15 Democratic National Committee members released a statement criticizing the decision. Incoming Democratic leader Shervin Jones reportedly told Walzerman Schultz directly that black representation is non-negotiable. Other local Democratic leaders have also questioned the move. According to reports, some leaders believe she had other paths available, including neighborhood districts where polling suggestion give me a second here. I got a script. Suggested she could remain competitive. Yet she chose the 20th district because she's an asshole. Now, if you followed Florida politics for more than 15 minutes, you already know calm and peaceful are not words usually associated with the state's political environment, with the state in general, if you ask me. But beneath the headlines and political drama is a serious conversation about representation, opportunity, and who gets protected seats within party structures. As election season heats up, don't expect this dispute to cool down anytime soon. I think she's trifling. I really do. I think she's just very, very trifling, and she's wrong for this shit. I'm just going to say what it is. It is what it is. Moving on, because I can't believe they're pulling this shit back. So, appeals court overturns paramedics' convictions in Elijah McClain's case. You dirty bastards. The legal fight surrounding the death of Elijah McClain is once again making headlines after a Colorado appeals court overturned key convictions against two former paramedics involved in the case. The court reversed the criminally negligent homicide convictions of Jeremy Cooper and Peter, I don't give a fuck what your last name is, the paramedics who administered ketamine to McClain during 2019 encounter with police. Why did you do that? Why would you administer that shit to him? That is oh Lord Jesus, that's a psychedelic, you dumbasses. McClain, a 23-year-old man, massage therapist, was walking home when officers stopped him. During the encounter, officers restrained him, and later paramedics injected him with ketamine after claiming he was experiencing what was called excited delirium. That does not exist. McClain later suffered a cardiac arrest and died. His death became one of the most recognized cases discussed during nationwide racial justice protests that followed in 2020. Now, here's the important legal detail. The appeals court did not rule that the paramedics were innocent. Instead, the judges determined that the jurors in the original trial were not given proper legal instructions for evaluating the paramedics' conduct. Because of that finding, the homicide convictions were overturned and new trials were ordered. However, one conviction remains. Paramedic Peter, whatever the fuck his last name, still has a second-degree conviction that was not overturned. At least there's some justice. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser has already announced plans to challenge the appeals ruling before the state's highest court. So while some headlines may make it sound like the case is over, the reality is opposite. That's good news. After years of investigation, protests, court proceedings, and public debate, the legal battle over Elijah McClain's death is continuing. The final outcome remains unresolved. I'm so sick of y'all. Y'all just love fucking shit up. Really, you do. You really do. All right. That's it for, the terrorism. We're about to go into one of my subscribers' favorite portions, and that is playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. Because seriously, these next stories, I like it.
I don't want the second, I want this. I'm burning my hands when I'm a red. I've been moving like a hot.
All right, so politics. Trump pardoned them for January 6th insurrection 97 committed new crimes. You feel good about yourself, you dumbass. One of the biggest. Where can I please?
I regret nothing.
Thank you. One of the biggest promises made after the January 6th Capitol riot was the accountability that would follow. Now, a new report is raising questions about what happened after many of those cases were closed. According to reporting citing data compiled by Lawfare and reviewed by the New York Times, at least 97 people connected to the January 6th Capitol riot have since been arrested, charged, or convicted of new crimes after receiving presidential pardon. Because the president, if you want to call him that shit, not my president, is a criminal too. Okay? You motherfuckers voted a criminal. 34 times convicted criminal. You ignorant bastards. For context, nearly 1,600 people were charged in connection with the attack on U.S. Capitol. The riot shocked the country as supporters of the then, it still says then, but that creep Trump breached the building while Congress was certifying the 2020 election results. Images of broken windows, police confrontations, and lawmakers sheltering in place became part of modern American history. Aren't you proud? I'm not. Let's see here. Now, critics of the pardon say the new arrest raised concerns about whether some individuals who received clemency had truly changed their behavior. Supporters of the pardons argue many January 6th defendants were treated unfairly and that their punishments were excessive. You can kiss my ass. No, there wasn't. Look at y'all ignorant bastards. And then they call us savages. I know you ain't talking. Look at that ignorant ass shit. And what is that flag? Fuck. I can't stand these people. The new figures have reignited the debate. What's interesting is both sides continue to tell completely different stories about January 6th. One side views it as an attack on democracy. I agree. The other sees many participants as victims of government overreach. No, I see y'all as terrorists personally. 5 years later, the country still hasn't reached a consensus. But one thing is certain, every new arrest tied to a pardoned January 6th defendant is likely to bring the debate right back into the headlines because these motherfuckers are perverts and idiots. But this next one is very nice. I very much like it. And I'm very happy for the person because he is really proven that black men can stand up. So Mayor Brandon Scott pushes back on the absent father myth, one stroller walk at a time. So every now and then, somebody challenges a stereotype without giving a speech, holding a press conference, or starting an argument online, because y'all irritating with that shit. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is doing it with a stroller. Scott recently participated in a father stroller walk, an event designed to highlight black fatherhood and challenge one of the oldest stereotypes in America, the idea that black fathers are absent from their children's lives. For generations, that narrative has been repeated, despite research showing that black fathers are often highly involved in their children's daily lives. Yet somehow the stereotype keeps surviving, like the one relative who won't leave after Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, just stays there and then wants to go gambling. You know who the hell I'm talking about if you hear this. Scott's message wasn't complicated. Fatherhood isn't just about financial support. It's about presence. Amen. It's about showing up, and it's about spending time with your children and being actively involved in their lives. Not when they're 14, not when they're fucking adults. Sometimes it looks like a father pushing a stroller. The event focused on celebrating black dads while highlighting the joy, responsibility, and commitment many fathers bring to their families every day. And honestly, that's probably why the image resonated with so many people. No political slogan, no shouting match, just a father walking with his child and reminding people that reality doesn't always match the stereotypes. Thank God, because y'all get on my nerves. Now, I would comb his hair a little better, but that's his situation, not mine. Because I am still not a fan of these new Afro things. It just look like you rolled out of bed and didn't even comb your knots out. That's me. That's a me issue. Anyways, moving on. Former NBA star Derek Coleman rejects Alabama honors over redistricting. Thank you. This is how you boycott. You turn your back on these motherfuckers when they try to do stupid shit or when they want you to do stupid shit for them. Anyways, former NBA star Derek Coleman is making headlines for something he isn't doing. He refused to attend his induction ceremony into the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. Now, let's be clear. Most athletes spend years chasing honor and recognition. Getting inducted into a Hall of Fame is usually the part where everybody puts on a suit, thanks their family, and tries not to cry during the speech. Coleman said no thanks. The former NBA Rookie of the Year and All-Star announced he is declining to participate because of concerns surrounding Alabama's redistricting battles and ongoing voting rights disputes. Coleman pointed specifically to continued legal fights over district maps and political representation, particularly as they affect black voters. I hate that fucking word. His decision comes after years of court battles over Alabama's congressional maps because y'all are really some racists. Federal courts have repeatedly examined whether black voters receive fair representation under the state's district boundaries. They do not. Coleman argued that voting rights remain under attack across parts of the South, and he said he wanted to use his platform to draw attention to those concerns, as you should. At a time when many public figures avoid controversial issues entirely, Coleman is doing the opposite. Whether people agree with his position or not, he made it clear that for him, the principle matters more than the ceremony. That's not something you see every day. Oh shit, I am in two different systems again, and that's the problem for me. I'm in two different systems. I'm controlling two different systems, and it does not work very well. But this is what happens when shit breaks and you ain't got money to replace it. You figure it out. All right, anyways, let me continue. Whether people agree, and that's something you don't see every day, okay? So, kudos to him. I love it. Thank you for saying something. Now, here goes an accountability story I'm so happy to see. Michigan cop sentenced to 6 months in jail for tasing black man for 40 seconds. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I need y'all to seriously put a psychiatrist in these police's cars. I just need someone there who has enough sense to see something is illegal and obviously wrong to do. Seriously, because y'all are apparently not like doing background checks and psych checks on these fuckers. Because seriously, I feel like if anybody who has some kind of power over other people should be checked mentally if they can actually handle that shit properly. Because there's too many fuckers that just feel small as hell or are small as hell and doing shit to other people to make themselves feel big. And it doesn't make you look big at all. It doesn't. A former Michigan police officer has been sentenced after a case involving excessive force drew significant public attention. The officer, identified as Matthew Furman, that's his name, received 6 months in jail as part of a sentence that also includes probation following convictions related to misconduct, assault charges stemming from separate traffic stop incidents. I think there should be also a restraining order. One of the incidents involved a black man who was tased for more than 40 seconds after driving around barricades in his neighborhood while attempting to get home. According to reports, Furman was convicted of misconduct in office and assault-related offenses connected to his conduct during those encounters. During sentencing, the judge delivered a message that many observers felt cut directly to the heart of the case. You swore an oath to protect and serve. That's a sentence that sounds simple until someone is accused of doing the exact opposite. Also, do no harm. But apparently people in the hospitals don't seem to pay attention to that shit either. The case has drawn additional attention because all allegations against Furman, I don't care if I'm saying it right or wrong, reportedly stretched back years. Critics argue warning signs existed long before criminal charges were filed and questions why stronger actions weren't taken sooner. Reports also describe other complaints involving interactions with residents, including allegations of harassment and excessive force. For many community members, the case isn't just about one officer, it's about accountability. The question being asked is whether systems designed to identify problem behavior are working quickly enough when complaints continue to pile up. The officer has lost his badge, has been sentenced, and now faces the consequences of those convictions. I wish they were doing this all over the damn country, but for many observers, the larger conversation about policing and accountability is far from over because there's a lot of motherfuckers getting hurt. God dang it, two systems again. Keep forgetting that. Two systems. Give me a second. I just heard a weird ass noise. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I got a baseball bat. All right. God dang it, 2 systems. All right, let me set up for the next one. Okay, that's it for playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. We're about to go ahead and enter into Black History. Let me go ahead and tell you right now, I'm about to do some commercials. If you're not interested, gone. So like I said, if you are in the area, if you have time and the money, if you're not in the area, please check out 7 Days in DC, going from June 28th to July 4th. For more information, check out Political Drain on YouTube. Once again, if you're interested in being a part of something and being involved, 7 Days in DC, June 28th to July 4th. Check out, once again, Political Drain for more information, the website and all that stuff to get involved. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my commercial. As always, if you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing and you have some suggestions, please go ahead and hit me in the comments. Please be respectful. Please like, subscribe, and share, because for real, I need some help here. God dang it. I need to raise my numbers, and I really want to raise them. Also, I almost forgot again. I am doing a special show. We call it, and it's with me and a friend of mine that I grew up with. It's called Grown Folks Ish. Here is the opener. I had to change the music. Here we go. We will be on Friday, I believe, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, between 8 and 7 o'clock. So check us out. We'll be talking about some stuff, just riffing off of each other and basically talking about stuff that old Black aunties be talking about when they ain't got shit to do. But anyways, here goes my commercial. As always, once again, please subscribe and share and like, please. So here goes my commercial. I'll be right back.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little taste, say that's my girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
Hold on, here we go. Nope, that's wrong. That's the wrong one. Ooh, at least it's shutting off like it's supposed to. Maybe because I restarted it. Here it goes.
Yo, so many, hey, so many, yo, so many, yo, so many lies. Look at my eyes, they know I'm the truth. You know that, knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't got a lie, they know we the vibe, we live in the proof. Young conscious, you my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope. Look at the view, we used to chill on the stoop. Now we out here breaking the news. It ain't shit.
Okay, so this week in Black History, June 3rd to June 12th. And after that, we're going to go into the conversation part 9 between Nikki and James Baldwin. Before we jump back into today's headlines, let's spend a moment remembering some people who helped shape history. Give me a second. June 3rd marks the birth of Dr. Charles Drew in 1904. Drew transformed modern medicine through his groundbreaking work on blood storage and plasma preservation. His research helped save countless lives and laid the foundation for modern blood banks. He also challenged racist policies that separated blood donations by race, proving that science and common sense were on the same side. On June 4th, 1972, activist and scholar Angela Davis was acquitted of all charges after spending 16 months in jail. The verdict became one of the most significant legal victories in modern activist history and drew international attention. June 6th marches the day that Mae Jemison was selected by NASA for astronaut training in 1987. I wish I was back in 87. 5 years later, she would become the first Black woman to travel into space, showing generations of young people that the sky was never the limit. Today, June 7th, is also the birthday of Prince, born in Minneapolis, In 1958, Prince became one of the most influential artists in music history, blending genres, breaking rules, and proving that creativity doesn't have to fit inside anyone's box. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say happy birthday to that one. Where's my damn happy birthday thing? Because I put it up here this time. I made sure I knew it. Okay, there it goes.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. One time for the birthday chick. I'ma mess around by you a birthday whip. Two times for the birthday chick. I'ma mess around by you some birthday gifts. It's your
All right, so happy birthday, Prince. Rest in power, King, even if your name is Prince. And on June 8th, we remember Homer Plessy, whose challenge to segregated rail cars helped spark one of the most famous legal battles in American history. Although the Supreme Court ruled against him at that time, his resistance became part of the long struggle that eventually helped dismantle legal segregation. However, I'm not sure if we should have I'm not sure if we were better off. I think we need our own country. We can do, business with this one, but I don't think they like us and I don't think we like them. That's all I'm saying. But that's it for news and God dang it. This week in Black History, because I can't say it right. Now we're gonna go ahead and enter into what I like to consider another historical moment. Here's part 9 of this is part 9 between a conversation between Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. Yeah, they get wrong one. Sorry, that was the wrong one. Okay, where is it? Something changed. I fucked up. I think I put something in there that I wasn't. Yeah, I put something in there that wasn't supposed to be in there. Anyways, here we go. Here it is.
I don't know what happens to a woman, but it happens to a man. You cannot do anything. They got you. They got you by the throat and by the balls. And of course it comes out. It comes out where would it come out? It comes out in the person closest to you.
So that's so wrong because what you perpetuate.
Nikki, it may be wrong.
I hate to use those kind of terms.
But Nikki, it may be wrong. Of course it's wrong. But we're dealing with human beings. One cannot be romantic about human nature. One cannot be romantic about one's own nature.
I don't think that I'm romantic. But
no, I don't mean that you are.
I have seen how the community, and even today in 1971, even today there are divisions based on those same kind of problems.
That's right.
So that the black men say, in order for me to be a man, you walk 10 paces behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
it means nothing. I can walk 10 paces behind a dog. It means nothing to me. But if that's what he needs, I'll never get far enough behind him for him to be a man. You know what I mean? I'll never walk that slowly.
Look, Nikki, if at the very great risk of seeming to pull rank.
No. Pull rank. Yeah.
I'm not.
Go on.
I'm not. No, but I don't mean that. But what I do mean is that a great many things which seem, if I may say so, new to you are not new to me.
Sorry.
So I can say that, exactly how long he will do it.
Sorry.
I know that a great deal of what passes for black militancy right now is nothing but a fashion.
At best.
At best. Something will rest, something will remain. What is important about it is not the details, not the given, people, or the given so-called leaders, or any of that jazz. What is important is the impulse out of which it has come, the ferment out of which it has come, which it reveals too. And what's valuable in it will remain, and the rest will go.
Yeah, but what's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, what's sort of sad to me is that the same syndrome that say our fathers set up, coming from many, you know what I mean? My father is your age, and the same syndromes that they set up. Well, he's a little bit older, 55. But the same.
A little bit older, 55. Thank you, baby.
Well, 7 years old. The same syndromes, which is being set up, is being perpetuated, is that once again the black man is becoming the figure to slide away from. You know what I mean? That once again, the black man is the figure that you say, well, I can't handle that. And if you visit with the states, or you talk to people enough, you'll see that same syndrome. The little guys that are standing around crossing their arms, and they're not lovable. They're not giving any love. They could give a damn about me. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate, because I need love.
Yes, but sweetheart, if what you're saying is very, very serious, I'm not in the least denying it, because you're perfectly right. But the only way we can get through it, I think, and it's demanding a great deal of you. But one's got no choice but to demand a great deal of you. Is that you understand? Look, let us say I'm King Oliver, right? And I'm a pretty good musician.
Very good.
And somebody called, let us say, Bing Crosby. Couldn't carry a tune from here to here, right? Right? Now I watch this little white boy become a millionaire. Become a millionaire. Many times over. I can't get a job. And time goes on. You get older. You get more weary. And since you cannot get a job, your morale begins to be destroyed. And the body begins to fail you. Your death approaches. All because, being a man, you've never been able to execute what a man ought to be able to do. And this is not for anything that you have done or not done by some arbitrary sentence. How in the world, if I can't get a job?
All right. So we'll continue on with that next week on Sunday, part 10, because I'm telling you, I'm trying my best not to get in trouble. So since this month is also, Black Music Month, let's talk about a legend. So this is the beautiful, messy legacy of Maurice White. Right. So thanks to a new documentary that premiered at the Tribeca Festival, people are taking another look at one of the greatest bands ever assembled, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And with that comes renewed attention on the man who built it, Maurice White. Now, when most people think of Earth, Wind, and Fire, they think about timeless musical, sold-out concerts, matching outfits, and songs that somehow get every age group on the dance floor at the same time. Grandma knows the words, your auntie knows the words, somehow the teenagers know the words. But the documentary reminds viewers that Maurice White's journey wasn't nearly as smooth as the music. White experienced tragedy early in life. His father, John White, who was known in Chicago as a nightclub owner and local figure, was unalive before Maurice reached the age of 5. It's one of those losses that can shape a person before they're old enough to fully understand it. Despite those challenges, White taught himself music, joined school bands, and eventually built one of the most successful groups in music history. What makes the story interesting is that success didn't automatically solve every problem. According to the documentary, Earth, Wind, and Fire learned at one point that they were approximately $500,000 in debt. How the fuck did that happen? Think about that for a second. You're making hit records, filling arenas, selling albums, and somehow the accounting department walks in with news nobody wants to hear. It's a reminder that talent and business don't always move together. The film explores both the brilliance and complications that surrounded White's career, showing how greatness often comes with struggles people never see from the audience. Yeah, it sounds like at most musicians. But anyways, the music may have sounded effortless, but building a legacy was anything but. All right, then. And that's it for our history segment. Now, it's a portion I just don't understand. It's one of them stories that just throw me off. Like, Where do I wait a minute, I'm missing a story. God dang it, it did it again. It's missing a damn story. We're not done with history. God dang it. I hate when they do that. They keep leaving stories out. Please give me the story on Sylvester. Because this is also in the history. It's pride and pride and music, okay? Because I'm sitting up here, either I don't have the damn picture screen cap, or hold on, give me a second. Two systems, just letting you know. All right, here we go. All right, this is still Black History, so how the world loved Sylvester's voice, but weaponized his identity. So before there was social media, before there were influencers, and before every celebrity had a publicist managing every sentence they said, there was a Black artist named Sylvester who simply refused to hide who he was. And why should you? I really don't understand. My whole thing is just don't force nobody. If they don't want to see it, let them go away. If they do, they'll stay. I'm talking about Sylvester, the legendary singer behind the disco classic You Make Me Feel, Mighty Real. Born Sylvester James Jr. in Los Angeles in 1947, he grew up singing gospel music in church. But as a young gay black man, he eventually found himself rejected by people who couldn't accept who he was. How is his hair done? It looks cute. Instead of shrinking himself, he chose a different path. After moving to San Francisco in the early 1970s, Sylvester embraced the city's creative and counterculture scene. He performed in drag, challenged gender expectations, and developed a style that was completely his own. Remember, this was decades before corporate America started putting rainbow logos on everything every June, just like they do us in February. Sylvester was taking those risks when doing so could cost your career. His breakthrough and your life. His breakthrough came with the 1978 album Step 2, which featured You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, a song that became a global disco anthem and remains one of the most influential dance records ever recorded. I don't really like disco, but I'm going to go try and listen to that. What made Sylvester special wasn't just the music. It was the freedom. He wasn't trying to fit into somebody else's definition of masculinity, celebrity, or success. He showed up exactly as himself and dared the world to deal with it. Many artists today enjoy freedoms that were helped by pioneers like Sylvester, who challenged expectations long before it became fashionable. His influence can still be seen in music, fashion, performance, and the alphabet mafia's culture today. I told you, I ain't saying all them letters and numbers. Sadly, Sylvester died in 1988 from complications related to AIDS. Oh, shit. But even his final years, he became an advocate for HIV and AIDS awareness and left future royalties from his music to organizations helping people affected by the disease. That's good. That's very good. The lesson from Sylvester's life is bigger than disco. It's about courage, because it's one thing to be yourself when everybody applauds. It's another thing to be yourself when the world tells you not to. And Sylvester did it anyways. So rest in power, king, queen, whatever one you want, sir. You did your shit. That's all I can say. Now we're gonna move on to a section. I like to say I don't know, because I really don't know where it fits. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what to do with it. It's just I don't know. So I'm gonna bring this down, and we're gonna talk about I don't know. Let me see. Trying to find the right one, because this shit is just really weird, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. I don't know. So let me hurry up and find it. Where's my I don't know? There it goes.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Chicago team receives high school diploma after viral split during graduation ceremony. I don't know where to put this because I mean, one, I'm impressed that she could do a split. I can't and I couldn't ever do a full split. But two, I'm not sure if that was appropriate. Were her family there? Did they know she was going to do that? I don't know. So this story falls squarely into the I don't know what everybody thought was going to happen category. A Chicago teenager has finally received her high school diploma after graduation ceremony controversy that quickly went viral. The issue started when the student performed a split while crossing the stage during graduation. Now, see, I think that's a little unfair because I've seen dudes do a split and then come back up and then walk their ass on off and nobody said a damn thing. What did she do? Did she jump into the split? I don't know. According to reports, she had apparently joked about doing it beforehand, but school officials didn't see the humor. Instead of simply moving on with the ceremony, administrators reportedly held her diploma and requested a meeting involving the principal and dean. What you should have done is you should have got that diploma in your hand and then done the split. Then you can run. According to the student, she was told she would not receive her diploma until they figured out how she could make up for her actions. What's she making up for? Did she stop the thing? You stopped it. It's just a split. I don't think it was that serious. According to the student, she was okay. Now, look, I understand school warnings wanting students to behave appropriately during graduation ceremony. Shit, I was drunk. But at the same time, this wasn't a bank robbery. This wasn't Grand Theft Auto. The young lady did a split. We've seen people dance, cartwheel, moonwalk, backflip, and do things at graduations that make Olympics judges nervous. Okay, Olympic judges get nervous. Eventually, cooler heads prevailed and the student received her diploma. The good news is she won't be spending the rest of her life explaining how she graduated but never got her paperwork because of an unexpected gymnastic demonstration. Shit, I think she got skills, personally. She's now preparing to attend Georgia State University, where she plans to major in business administration. So congratulations to her, and maybe next time everybody can take a deep breath before turning a split into a national news story. Because seriously, I have seen way more than that, and it's usually the dudes that doing it. Now this second story, like I said, is one of those, I don't know what to tell you. This is weird. Okay, so TMI. Stephen A. Smith goes shirtless on first take. I don't think anybody asked for that. And I don't think anybody consented to being exposed to that either. So there's some things nobody asked for, but they show up anyways. This week, Stephen A. Smith apparently decided America needed to see his fitness progress. I don't really feel like he's that great to look at. I really don't. I feel like it would be disappointing. During an episode of ESPN's First Take in San Antonio, Smith revealed shirtless photos of himself while discussing his recent body transformation. That could be photo opted or AI. According to Smith, he's currently sitting at around 9% body fat, which is a number that immediately made half the audience put down their snacks. I think your head has that 9%. The sports commentator explained that people had been speculating about his weight loss and suggesting he might have used GLP-1 medications. I wasn't asking. I was more of saying stay in your damn lane and shut the hell up, personally. Smith firmly rejected those claims and said his results came through hard work and lifestyle changes, even though nobody really wanted to know. Now, if you've watched Stephen A. Smith for any length of time, I haven't and I don't want to, you know subtly is not exactly his brand. The man is loud as hell. He'll give the damn dead a heart attack. This is a man who can turn a discussion about basketball into a dramatical theater performance worthy of Broadway auditions. So naturally, when it came time to address rumors, which I'd never heard, he didn't simply issue a statement. He brought visual evidence, which we still didn't ask for. To his credit, Smith has discussed health concerns that motivated him to take fitness more seriously, including worries that arose after seeing family members deal with medical issues. Whether people love it, hate it, or immediately looked away, one thing is clear. Stephen A. Smith found a way to become the headlines instead of talking about one. Again. Good grief, man. You get on my goddamn nerves. That dude creeps me the hell out now. When he said he was going to run for president, I was like, the fuck? Then he said he was going to run for Democrat. I was like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But now it's time for financial news. So if you're interested in trying to figure out money and know stuff about money, you might want to stick around. Here we go. So, property is power. Build assets first, refinance later. Let's talk about ownership. Not social media followers, not designer labels, not looking successful, actual ownership. A recent Property is Power article argues that too many people spend years waiting for the perfect time to buy property. They're waiting for interest rates to fall, waiting for prices to drop, waiting for certainty, waiting for conditions to become perfect. That'll never happen. The problem is that perfect conditions rarely send a calendar invitation announcing their arrivals. The article's main argument is simple. You marry the property, not the interest rate. Interest rates can change, loans can be refinanced, markets can shift, but none of that matters if you never acquire the asset in the first place. Now, this isn't an argument for making reckless financial decisions. Nobody should buy property they can't afford just because somebody on the internet said real estate always wins. Don't listen to them. Preparation matters. Budgeting matters, research matters, but the article warns for that fear can become expensive when opportunities continue passing by. Historically, property ownership has been one of the most reliable ways families build wealth through equity, appreciation, and long-term ownership. The message isn't that everybody needs to become a real estate mogul. Please don't. The message, hey, Joker, where you been, girl? The message is that ownership creates options and options create opportunity. Amen. Please think about ownership instead of renting, because that's what I'm trying to do. Right now, I'm renting and I'm on a voucher, but eventually I'm going to get out of school and hopefully my apprenticeship turns into work. And then I can get the hell up out of this motherfucker and get myself some land with my mom. And I ain't selling that shit. And hopefully I can have a kid and pass it down to them. If not, I'm going to send it to one of my relatives. Anyways, moving on, because we're still in the financial news. Isn't that the truth? I've been wishing for property forever. Girl, you better pay attention. There is no perfect time. Still moving on. Still talking about property is power. Why home ownership education must begin at home. So pay attention to this, Joker. Let's be honest. Most of us learn things in school that we haven't used in years, but nobody sat us down and explained escrow accounts. Nobody explained equity. Nobody explained refinancing. And somehow we were expected to become homeowners anyways. A recent Property is Power article argues that one of the biggest barriers to home ownership isn't always money. Sometimes it's knowledge. The article suggests that many families teach children how to earn income but spend less time teaching how ownership works. Previous generations often learned those lessons naturally. When kids helped maintain the family home, watching adults budget for repairs or learned why mortgage payments mattered, they were also learning responsibility. The article also points out that Black Americans faced decades of barriers to home ownership through redlining, discriminatory lending, racial covenants, and unequal access to credit. Because of that history, understanding ownership isn't just a financial issue. It's also part of preserving opportunities that previous generations fought to obtain. The larger lesson is that home ownership education shouldn't begin the day somebody applies for mortgage. It should begin years earlier, understanding the bills, understanding maintenance, understanding savings, understanding how equity grows over time. Because if we wait until adulthood to learn every financial lesson, we're already playing catch up. And sometimes the most important classroom isn't a building, it's a kitchen table. Believe me, I had to learn about I had to learn about insurance. Prime America. Lord have mercy. If anything, I got a good meal, but I didn't get anywhere after that. But anyways, moving on, Blackonomics. For Black families, that affordability crisis is a battle for survival. So every time somebody says inflation is cooling, I want them to walk into a grocery store, look at a rent payment, check an insurance bill, and then come back and tell me how cool everything feels. Because for a lot of families, especially Black families, the affordability crisis is still very real. A recent Blackonomics article argues that rising costs are putting pressure not just on low income households, but also on working class and middle class families who are trying to stay afloat and build wealth at the same time. Yeah, it was, but the people that ran it, damn it, they fed me good. And they took my uncle's money. They didn't take my money. So I never got into any further, but they took his money, not my money. I didn't have no money. Anyways, housing remains one of the biggest challenges for generations. Home ownership has been one of the primary ways families build wealth. But higher home prices, elevated interest rates, rising insurance costs, and property taxes have made home ownership feel increasingly out of reach for many younger buyers. The article points out that Black millennials and Gen Z households continue to have lower home ownership rates than their white counterparts, creating long-term challenges for wealth building. I'm going in with my mama. Many Black family, and here's where things get tougher. Many Black families don't have access to the same inherited wealth, family property, or financial safety nets that can cushion economic blows, even though those were created on our ancestors' backs. I'm just saying. When the transmission goes out, the roof leaks, or somebody gets sick, there isn't always a backup fund waiting in the wings. Researchers have long connected those wealth gaps to generations of housing discrimination, redlining, and barriers that prevented many Black families from accumulating assets. The article argues that affordability isn't just about prices, it's about opportunity. It's about whether families can build equity, hold on to assets, and eventually pass something down to the next generation. Because financial security isn't just what you earn, it's about what you're able to keep. For real, for real. Now we're going to move on into the culture area, but it's still kind of business, but then it's still culture. So yeah, check this out because this next story is very interesting. So, National Personal Finance Challenge yields high school achievement for Rockdale County High School scholars. All right, so while social media spent the week arguing about celebrities, scandals, and whatever nonsense was trendy for 24 hours, a group of Georgia students were doing something that might actually help them for the rest of their lives. That's what I'm talking about, god dang it. Make sure you take care of your family and you. So students from the Rockdale County High School earned national recognition after excelling in the 2026 Personal Finance Challenge. Now, before anybody falls asleep because they heard the word personal finance, stay with me. This competition covers real-life skills that many adults wish someone had taught them years ago. Budgeting, investing, credit management, insurance, retirement planning, wealth building. And for anybody that is interested in buying a home, I suggest you go to your state or your county's website and look for free classes into housing. Okay, those are free, and you might need them. Retirement planning and wealth building. All the stuff that somehow it's less important in school than memorizing facts you'll never use after graduation. Earlier this year, the students won Georgia's Personal Finance Challenge and advanced to compete against top teams from the country. The national competition was held at the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, how useful, and required students to solve realistic financial scenarios involving debt, investments, saving plans, and long-term planning. What's impressive isn't just that they competed, it's that they're learning concepts many Americans still struggle with. Study after study shows that adults often misunderstand basic financial principles like compound interest, credit utilization, and retirement investing. The students are getting a head start. The lesson here isn't just about money. It's about preparation because earning money is important, but knowing how not to lose it, that's a goddamn superpower because I keep seeing people doing that shit and I don't understand how they do it. I'm just like, how? Why did you get the money? And how did you get the money? And how did you lose it so quick? Do you really need a plane? Just saying. Moving on. The water's fine, Black Senior Challenge, swimming fears. I wonder if my mother's ever gone swimming. I need to go ask her. Anyways, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, swimming. Not because Michael Phelps is making a comeback. Is he? I didn't know. Not because somebody bought a yacht. If you do, don't tell me. I don't give a shit. But because a growing number of Black seniors are helping break a barrier that has existed for generations. A recent article explored how swimming remains one of the most persistent racial participation gaps in America. Fuck you. I know how to swim. I swam with a dislocated fucking shoulder when they pushed me off that damn landing. Shit. The reasons are complex: segregation, limited access to pools, historical exclusion, and in many families, fear of water being passed from one generation to the next. One woman interviewed for the story explained that nobody in her family talked about swimming despite growing up near ponds, creeks, and beaches. I got thrown in the water. I think he really meant that shit. I don't think he was trying to be funny. That was my dad. He threw me to the other side of the goddamn pond. I don't think he was being fatherly. That experience isn't unusual. Research has consistently shown that Black Americans are more likely to report being non-swimmers than many other groups. But that's beginning to change. Shit has been changed. I used to go with my homegirl swimming all the time. And by the way, if you haven't heard, I'm coming out with another segment on Friday nights. Me and my homegirl that I grew up with, we gonna talk about crazy ass shit, smart shit, and anything else that comes in our minds. It's called Grown Folk-ish. I revamped it. Anyways, more Black adults and seniors are taking swimming lessons, joining aquatic fitness programs, and encouraging younger generations to become comfortable in the water. Some are learning for health reasons, others are learning simply because they never had the opportunity before. And honestly, that's one of the best parts of this story. It reminds people that growth doesn't have an expiration date. Whether you're 15 or 75, learning a new skill is still possible. I'm still in school again. I wish I wouldn't have to go again. The article message is simple. The water belongs to everybody. And increasingly, oh shit, that was wrong button to press. Where's it? Hold on, give me a second. And increasingly, more people are claiming their place in it. All right, before we move on to the good news segment, I'm going to go ahead and promo my new show. It is called Grown-ish. We will be starting this Friday coming up, and we'll just be riffing off of each other. True grown Black women have nothing else to do that both like anime. One is more in depth than the other, not gonna say who, and other different things. We just gonna discuss a lot of things, including crazy ass animals, because we both grew up in Louisiana. I grew up for a bit, she grew up from birth. But anyways, let me go ahead and show that promo real quick so y'all can see it. Where did I put that motherfucker? I put it somewhere, not this one. I think here you go. So that's the commercial, and that's also the opener. We will probably be cammed up, so wish me luck. I got to do my hair. Now we're gonna go ahead into the promos, because one more promo, and then we're gonna go get into good news. Okay, it's also educational news, but it's more good news than anything. And once again, please subscribe, share, and like, because I need the help. Anyways, where is it? Okay. Oh yes, here it is. If you like your lips popping and you like CBD, please check out this company. It is CBD Honey Lips. You can find her on Threads, Instagram, and Twitch. Here we go. Once again, that is CBD Honey Lips. You can find her on, like I said, Threads, Instagram, and Twitch if you're interested. It is a Black-owned company. Please check it out. And here we go with good news. Spelman College names renowned roboticist Dr. Ayanna Howard as its 12th president. Good on you, ma'am. I don't know what a roboticist is, but it sounds complicated, and I'm so glad that I don't have to study it. Spelman College has officially named Dr. Ayanna Howard as its 12th president, and her resume looks like somebody accidentally combined 3 careers into one person. Oh, I understand that shit, though. Woo! Dr. Howard is a nationally recognized botanist, entrepreneur, researcher, and higher education leader. And that reminds me, some people don't know how to read the word silhouette. Fuck me up. Anyways, beginning August 1st, she will... Oh, god dang it. I lost my spot. Give me a second. Beginning August 1st, she will take the helm of Spelman College, one of the most respected HBCUs in the country. Real talk, I thought that was only a Cosby school. Her career includes work with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, leadership positions in higher education, groundbreaking research in robotics, and recognition as one of Forbes' top 50 women in tech. In other words, if your child says they want to study science, technology, engineering, or robotics, Dr. Howard is that kind of person they should probably know about. Spelman's leadership says they wanted someone who could honor the institution's history while helping guide its future. They believe Howard fits that mission perfectly. And honestly, this feels like one of those stories where the title barely captures the accomplishments. Because becoming the president of Spelman is impressive. Doing it after helping shape the future of robotics and technology? Oh, it was Hillman. I remember a man. That's all I remember. It was a man in there. Thank you so much for letting me know. Becoming president of Spelman is impressive. Doing it after helping shape the future of robotics and technology is another level entirely. Congratulations to Dr. Howard and to Spelman College as they begin a new chapter. Good on you. Let's see what the next story is. Okay. And I reported this before. A roboticist is an interdisciplinary specialist who designs, builds, programs, and tests intelligent machines. I bet she's smarter than Muskrat. I bet you she is. Good on her. But now it's time to go and move on to an update one. I love it because I updated this. I talked about this a few weeks ago, and I'm so glad. I need to turn the volume up on that. Anyways, so I had talked about this before. There was a competition. I had wanted to vote, but I had missed it. I think that's right. I might be wrong. My memory is trash. Oh, Lord. So this one right here, I talked about it last in April. That's when I did it. I was too late to vote, but I'm glad she won. There it is. I saw it the other day on Google. Billions of people visit Google every year. Very few get to redesign its homepage. That's exactly what happened for a talented high school senior from Washington named Kamira. I hope I said that right. Kamira Johnson. Johnson recently won Google's annual Doodle competition, beating out tens of thousands of students' submissions from across the country. This year's theme was simple. My superpower is. Kamira's, I hope I'm saying it right, answer was rooted in something deeply personal, black hair. Her winning artwork celebrated natural hair, cultural pride, and self-acceptance. During an appearance on Today, Johnson explained that the inspiration came from close to home. She credited her mother for teaching her to love her hair and embrace her culture. Now, that might sound simple, but for generations, black hair has been criticized, policed, misunderstood, and treated as something that needed to be changed. And then it internalized, and motherfuckers were talking to people that were natural and telling them they were nappy-headed and getting us to take fucking perms and fucking up our hair, so we had to take the big chop. Sorry, I almost got lost. Anyways, seeing a young black woman take something that hasn't been targeted and turn it into an award-winning art that has often been targeted, into award-winning art is pretty powerful. Millions of people visited Google and saw her work. Millions. Not because she copied somebody else, not because she followed a trend, but because she created something authentic. That's a win for creativity, culture, and representation. And it's a reminder that sometimes the very thing people tell you to hide becomes the thing that the world celebrates most. Yes, indeed. I'm so glad for her. And when I saw it, I told my friend, I was on the phone with her, and I said, hey, look at this. I talked about this girl, and she won. I'm so happy for her. Now, we're going to go ahead and move into celebrities. So I'm gonna do my commercial, but before that, I still got to do another promo. As always, if you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, please go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Please be respectful. Girl, I just be ranting my ass off. Uh Please be respectful. And like I said, I got time. And I will take your name off it and I will drag your ass and you will know who I'm talking about, but nobody else will. That's how petty I am. So please hit me up and be respectful. Also, if you have the money and you're in the area, please go check out 7 Days in DC, June 28th to July 4th, 2026. If you want to get more involved, go check out Political Drain on YouTube for the information, the website, everything. So like I said, if you have the money, the time, or if you're just in the area, please check out 7 Days in DC and get involved because shit, if we're going to have to do it, we might as well do it right. All right. So with that, here comes my commercial, like I said before. And as I said before, yeah, please subscribe. Where is it? There you go.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay, that's my girl, that's my mascot. The ones go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
All right. Honestly, I'm going to tell y'all the truth with the rants. I think, and I've always thought this, it's a national secret from me that there is a game on how to rile my ass up. My mother is the top player, but damn it, it seems like everybody knows the game and they do it everywhere I go. But on to the topic. 13 black icons who outsmarted the music industry. Now, these are geniuses. Whew. Every generation gets told the same story. Just sign the contract. Trust the label. They know what's best. And every generation eventually discovers that sometimes the people making the most money from your talent aren't you. A recent look at black musicians who outsmarted the industry highlights artists who refuse to accept the traditional rules of the game. The most famous example might be Prince. Happy birthday! During his battle with Warner Brothers, Prince challenged the industry control over artists and ownership rights. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol and famously appeared with the word slave written on his face. I did not see that, drawing attention to what he believed was an unfair system. Then there's Master P, who negotiated one of the most legendary business deals in hip hop history. Girl, I think you already joined it, damn it. Sometimes you get me riled up. Shoot. Anyways, reports indicate he maintained ownership of his recordings while keeping an unusually large share of profits. That's how you do it. In music business terms, that's the equivalent of hitting a game-winning shot from the parking lot. The article also highlights Chance the Rapper, who helped prove artists could achieve massive success without following the traditional label route. His independent approach helped reshape how streaming and artist ownership are reviewed today. But apparently he did something kind of stupid, or I think that other album was too whiny. I didn't think it was whiny. But anyways, of course, industry legends like Nile Rodgers demonstrated that controlling your creative output can be just as important as creating it. The lesson isn't about music, it's about ownership, okay? Because history has shown that making the product and owning the product are two very different things. I know it's all love, girl. I ain't got no problem. A lot of artists made hits. The people on this list figured out how to keep more of what they earned. You see that picture. I didn't get to all of them, but you see Rihanna's up in there. I'm telling you, she owns her shit. I think I don't know, does what you call it on her shit? Like Missy Elliott? Does Megan Thee Stallion? I don't know. Well, anyways, this next story right here is something I feel is very important because seriously, there's they've been doing this shit too much, but this is still one of those celebrity news things, but still it's something you need to know for real. I'm just saying.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I couldn't move it shit. So Yahya, I hope I'm saying this right. Yahya Abdul Mateen II calls on weaponization of religion in powerful new interview. Has anybody else noticed that? Because they sure are trying to weaponize it and they're getting it wrong. Every bastard that's doing it is getting it wrong. You don't weaponize the Bible. So actor Yahya Abdul Mateen II, is he British? I bet he's British. Is getting attention for comments he recently made about religion and how people sometimes misuse it. During a lengthy interview, reflecting on his busy year, the actor discussed growing up with influences from both Christianity and Islam. His father was Muslim and his mother was Christian, giving him exposure to different faith traditions from any early age. I grew up in Dudley Station. There was a bunch of people in freaking ties and suits selling bean pies in the middle of the island of the traffic. I never bought them, but I heard bean pies taste good, but I've never had them. Anyways, what caught people's attention was his perspective on individuals who used religion as a tool for power, like that chaos demon orangutan in the damn White House. Mateen explained that when people are motivated by domination, conquest, or control, sounds like colonization to me, they are moving away from values he associates with faith. His point wasn't aimed at one specific religion. It was broader than that. He argued that generosity, peace, compassion, and love should be central to spiritual practice. When those values disappear, something important gets lost. Now, regardless of where people stand religiously, one thing most faith traditions agree on is that power can be dangerous when it becomes the goal instead of the service. You can just look at our government and find that out. Damn it, we're a damn train wreck. That's what makes the conversation interesting. In a world where people are often yelling about religion, Mateen was talking about responsibility. And frankly, that's a discussion we probably don't hear enough of, especially. Now, moving on. This one was serious to me because it's like, no, you aren't doing this woman wrong posthumously. So estate of Star Trek pioneer Nichelle Nichols awards millions in wrongful death lawsuit, but family will only see a fraction of it. Somebody tell me who the hell did this shit? This next story is one of those legal cases that makes people say, wait a minute, how does that work? The estate of legendary Star Trek actress Nichelle Nichols has been awarded $13 million in a wrongful death lawsuit involving a New Mexico hospital. Nichols, who became a television icon through her role as Lieutenant Uhura, passed away in 2022 after being hospitalized with complaints that included shortness of breath. That lawsuit alleged serious failures in her medical care. A jury ultimately sided with Nichols' estate, of course, it's Star Trek, and awarded $13 million. Sounds like a major victory, right? Well, here's where things get complicated. According to the attorneys involved in the case, New Mexico's Tort Claims Act limits how much can actually be recovered from government-owned medical facilities. As a result, the family is expected to receive only a fraction of the jury awarded, reportedly around $400,000. That's what they get. Now, I know some people are doing the math in their heads right now. Trust me, the attorneys already did. The case highlights how legal caps can dramatically reduce payouts even after juries award much larger amounts. Meanwhile, the legal battle isn't completely over. A second lawsuit connected to the matter is still pending. For many fans, however, the story is also a reminder of Nichols' extraordinary legacy. Her groundbreaking role on Star Trek helped open doors for generations of Black performers and remains one of the television's most important cultural milestones. And thank God she didn't make her role kind of like old girl did. What's her damn name? I fucking forgot it. The one that was Catwoman. You know her name. She was Catwoman, and then she was in Boomerang. And it's just, lady, stop trying to play the sex kitten when you old. It doesn't work when you have wrinkles. It really doesn't. Anyways, moving on. Kelly Rowland, yeah, she has eczema. I have eczema too, but for some reason I kept calling it emphysema, and then nobody corrected me until finally somebody laughingly said, emphysema is a lung disease. I was telling people I had emphysema, and people were asking me, I didn't know you smoked. And I said, I don't smoke. And then they looked at me funny. And it's just like, I'm talking about the rash. Anyways, it's just a rash. Kelly Rowland hopes to change how Black women talk about eczema. Eczema, not emphysema. So let's talk about something that doesn't usually make celebrity headlines: skin conditions. Singer Kelly Rowland is speaking openly about her experience with eczema and encouraging more honest conversations about it within Black communities. Rowland recently discussed her lifelong experience with flare ups and how the conditions affected her growing up. She explained that eczema can appear differently for different people. No, it wasn't Halle Berry. The old lady, the really old one. That was Catwoman. Not that Catwoman. The original Catwoman, Eartha Kitt. There it is, Eartha Kitt. Never mind, I got it. Eartha Kitt. She just needed to stop being a sex kitten. That was creepy. Now Halle is still very in shape for her age, so she can still play the sex kitten. But I don't know how Eartha was when she was in Boomerang, but she still wasn't. She was not looking good for sex kitten. No, 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 no. Anyways, what makes this conversation important is that many people dismiss eczema as just a rash. It is not. Anyone who has dealt with it knows that that's not always the case. I promise you it is not. Because that shit is more than a rash. Promise you. It is annoying. Anyways, the condition can affect comfort, confidence, sleep, and overall quality of life and health. Rowland also spoke about the importance of balancing home remedies with professional medical guidance. That's an important point because social media has turned everybody into a dermatologist, Eartha Kitt, nutritionist, a therapist, a nutritionist, there it is, and life coach. Sometimes your auntie's remedy works. Sometimes your auntie's remedy creates a completely different problem. Roland's larger message focused on self-care and personal growth. I got a damn cream. That's what I got. And I put it on there and it cleaned it very good. I went to a dermatologist. That's what I went to. Anyways, Roland's larger message focused on self-care, personal growth. She emphasized the importance of caring for yourself physically and emotionally while continuing to grow as a parent, spouse, professional, and individual. It's a reminder that health conversations don't always have to center around dramatic diagnosis. Sometimes they're about everyday challenges millions of people quietly deal with. And I did not know the right word. Damn it. I was so embarrassed when I finally got that right. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Moving on, because we're still in the celebrity portion. Simone Biles says she almost died during frightening health scare, reminding fans even superheroes need rest. Yes, Kelly is. Kelly is absolutely gorgeous. Yes, she is. And she's not dramatic. And that I like it. She's not problematic either. So one reason so many people respect Simone Biles isn't just because she's the most decorated gymnast in history. It's because she's willing to be human in public. This week, Biles revealed she recently experienced a serious health scare that landed her in the hospital. In a series of social media posts, she shared photos from a hospital bed along with images of hospital wristbands and flowers sent by loved ones. At one point, she described the situation by saying she almost died. Now, details remain limited, and Biles has not publicly shared everything that happened. But that's part of why the story resonated, because people are used to seeing her perform. Give me a second, I fucked up again. Let me see here now. People are used to seeing her perform seemingly impossible athletic feats. She became so associated with excellence that it's easy to forget she's still a person with the same vulnerabilities everyone else has. Over the last several years, Biles has become one of the most influential voices in sports regarding mental health boundaries and self-care. Her decision to step back during the Tokyo Olympics sparked a worldwide discussion about what strength actually looks like. Many people were taught that strength means pushing through pain no matter what. Biles helped challenge the idea. She reminded people that strength can also mean recognizing when something is wrong, asking for help. This latest health scare reinforces the same lesson. Even superheroes need rest. Even champions need support. And sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is admit they can't do everything alone. I'm still working on that one. I'm really working on that. And that's it for the celebrity news. Now we're about to get into health. So let's do it. Sorry, forgot. So black women pay a high cost for medical misdiagnosis. And that's disgusting to think about. So when people talk about healthcare disparities, the conversation usually focuses on health outcomes. Who gets diagnosed, who gets treated, who gets better. But a recent report is highlighting another side of the problem that doesn't get enough attention: the money. According to reporting on healthcare disparities affecting Black women, medical diagnosis, misdiagnosis, and patient dismissal aren't just frustrating experiences. They can become expensive ones too. The report points to significant disparities in maternal health and notes that Black households, give me a second, I did it again. I hate when I do that. That Black households often spend a much larger share of their income on healthcare costs than the national average, which is fucked up. Think about what happens when a doctor doesn't identify the problem correctly. You schedule another appointment, then another, then a specialist, then maybe a second specialist because the first one didn't help. Meanwhile, you're paying co-pays, deductibles, prescription costs, transportation expenses, and sometimes missing work all along the way. One woman interviewed described the experience as repeating searching for a doctor who would finally listen. And that's the part that stands out. Nobody should have to become a full-time investigator trying to solve their own medical mystery. Recent debates involving Medicaid, Medicare, and healthcare access have only increased concerns among Black women about future coverage and affordability. Because healthcare isn't just about receiving treatment. I myself am apparently going through perimenopause, and it's fucking me up. Anyways, because healthcare isn't just about receiving treatment. It's about receiving the right treatment. And when the system gets it wrong, the bill often arrives long before the answer does. I'm telling you. Now, this next story is for the men. We're almost done, folks. We are almost done. So check this one out. Black men manning up isn't a mental health flex, okay? Please don't, because manning up fucks up for women and men alike. There are some phrases that sound tough but can be incredibly dangerous. One of them is man up. For generations, many boys and girls have been taught that strength means staying silent. Don't cry, don't talk about it, handle it yourself. Keep pushing. But mental health experts are increasingly warning that this mindset, let me see, that's exactly where I am right now. The years of doctors not listening, and me trying to figure out my own diagnosis. Girl, what you do is, like my friend did, you get in good with one doctor and maybe they have friends and ask them if they have a specialist for it. But if you want, go check out my page on the about part. I think my email is there. Email me about it and maybe I can help you hook up with someone. Because I know someone who knows someone who knows someone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get it back to where you are. Anyways, studies have shown, let's see here, more than 61 million Americans currently live with some form of mental illness, and researchers continue to find unique challenges affecting Black men and boys. Studies have shown that exposure to poverty, racism, trauma, and community violence can affect how young Black men view themselves and their relationship with support systems. Some begin believing they have to carry every burden alone. The numbers are sobering. Between 2007 and 2020, self-deletion rates among Black youth ages 10 to 17 nearly tripled. I tried again in one of those times. Self-deletion is now one of the leading causes of death among young adults. Mental health professionals say traditional ideas of masculinity can sometimes make the problem worse, not because strength is bad, but because they often confuse strength and the isolation. That's a difference. Being strong doesn't mean suffering in silence. Being strong doesn't mean refusing help. Being strong doesn't mean carrying your pain until it breaks you. I know I'm trying to come to terms with that one. Organizations focused on mental health continue encouraging Black men to seek support through counseling, trusted mentors, faith communities, family networks, and fraternities and other support systems, because nobody wins a prize for struggling alone. And sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is say, I need help. I finally did that a few months ago, and then I tried to take it back, but then I had to be for real with myself. Now, this next one is for the ladies, especially the ladies who love the candy like I do. What women need to know about pre-diabetes. If pre-diabetes were a person, it would be one of those people who quietly walks into a room and nobody notices until they've been standing there for an hour. Yeah, I do that to people sometimes. I stand right there and they don't see me until they turn around, and then they threaten my life saying, girl, you don't know who the hell you're playing with. Don't do that. You could get killed. I'm just saying. And some of those people usually are related to me very closely and gave me life, just saying. But I digress. Because one of the biggest dangers of pre-diabetes is how quietly it develops. Health experts say millions of women are living with pre-diabetes and may not even realize it. The condition occurs when blood sugar levels are elevated but not high enough to be classified as type 2 diabetes. And here's the tricky part. Many people experience few or no symptoms. According to medical experts discussing the issue, insulin plays a major role in regulating blood sugar by helping the body's cells use glucose for energy. When that process becomes less effective, blood sugar levels can begin creeping upward. The encouraging news is that pre-diabetes is often reversible. Doctors say many women can improve their blood sugar levels through relatively straightforward lifestyle changes, such as increasing physical activity, improving sleep. Girl, I just be ranting stuff, okay? Like I said, I'll be getting hyped up on certain things and it fucks me up. Doctors say women can improve their blood sugar level through relatively straightforward lifestyle changes, such as increasing physical activity, improving sleep habits, reducing stress, and making healthier food choices. Girl, sometimes I hate doing that shit because it is a boring ass trip with that shit. You know, I done had to get really snazzy with alternatives to beef, like goat, venison, freaking bison. You know how expensive that shit is? I gotta freaking save up just to try to be healthy. Anyways, now before anybody starts panicking and throwing away every snack in the house, experts stress that the goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Small changes performed consistently often produce better results than dramatic changes that last for 2 weeks. The bigger message is empowerment. Pre-diabetes isn't necessarily a sentence. For many people, it's an early warning sign that provides an opportunity to make adjustments before more serious health complications develop. And that's information worth paying attention to. Because honestly, I don't know what else to tell you when it comes to that. Now, before we hit the last story, because it's almost over, like I said, I had to tweak the damn scripts. It was going too damn long. I want to go ahead and promote my new segment one more time. Very expensive, but try turkey. It is a little cheaper. It is. I have turkey, but then I messed up by indulging myself into the local cuisine of Louisiana. Deep fried turkey wings will never leave me. So that's my problem right there. That's not good. But anyways, I want to go ahead and promote my little show again. We're doing a new segment. I'm teaming up with a friend of mine, and we're basically riffing off each other, talking about crazy things, talking about serious things, talking about just things. We're aunties that have absolutely time on our hand at that moment, and we do have other lives. So I want to go ahead and do the commercial again. The segment is called Grown Folks Ish as shit, not ish as blackish, no. But anyways, check out the opener, and I'll be right back with the last story. So here we go. Kangaroo escapes owner's property in Kentucky. First of all, I'm serious. I'm not joking. For like a month, I forgot Kentucky was a state. I thought it was just the chicken. I swear, I'm not joking. But anyways, why do you have a kangaroo in Kentucky? I know Kentucky is the South and it's warm, but that's a different atmosphere. And I think that damn kangaroo knew what the hell it was doing. Anyways, after all the politics, court cases, and serious headlines, let's end with a story that sounds completely made up, except it isn't. Authorities in Kentucky recently found themselves searching for a suspect. The suspect was fast. I bet he was. The suspect could leap impressive distances. The suspect refused to cooperate. The suspect was a kangaroo. According to Kentucky State Police, that tail don't look red. A red-tailed kangaroo somehow escaped from its owner's property and began hopping around areas near Richmond and Berea. I think I ate. No, that was ostrich. Either way, him. Yeah, that's not supposed to be in Kentucky. Not one bit. Why did you bring this into Kentucky? You deserve that motherfucker to leave. Why do you have a pet? What's the purpose? People can't afford milk, and you got a damn. What does it eat? What are you feeding it? You got a whole goddamn kangaroo. Put that kangaroo back where you got it from. Now, imagine being the person who made that 911 call. Hello, police. What's your emergency? There's a kangaroo outside. At that point, dispatch is probably wondering whether somebody accidentally called after visiting the wrong kind of pharmacy. But the kangaroo was real. Troopers, wildlife officials, and the owner all joined efforts or forces to safely locate the runaway marsupial, who should probably be put back where the hell it was from. Thankfully, the search ended without injuries because apparently kangaroos can kick you to death. And the animal was eventually returned home. To his home, or to this owner's place. Because I'm thinking seriously, I don't think Kentucky is where that guy should be. Officials noted that while the kangaroo wasn't considered especially dangerous, people should avoid approaching it, which honestly feels like advice that shouldn't need to be given. If you see a loose kangaroo in Kentucky, maybe don't test your luck. The good news is everybody is safe. The kangaroo is quote unquote home, if you want to say that, and somewhere in America, a police report now contains the sentence responded to a kangaroo incident. 2026 continues to be a very strange and stressful year. And that's it for the news. I just want to thank y'all so much. We're ending pretty early than what we usually do. I do have a fashion show, but I probably doubt anybody wants to look at it right now, seeing the time and want to get into your stuff, right? So I'm going to go ahead and call it. I want to say thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you for supporting me as always. Without y'all, I'd be nothing. Please like, subscribe, like the little Kitsune is doing. Yeah, please subscribe, please, and help me get this bigger. I've decided if I get to 1,000 followers, I will permanently cam up. I will not do this thing right here, but until then, every 100 I cam up. Otherwise, check out my show. I will be cammed up there. I gotta go braid my hair, and I'll be talking with my friend who probably will use a picture. Maybe I'll use a picture too, because I don't want to be up there by myself. But anyways, thank you for coming. Love y'all, and good night. Where's my damn closer?
I can't say. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't home with my soul. On the road.